Hey, what's going on? This is your humble correspondent, John Ross Marcus Scott, come back at you with the Way Too Much JMC podcast. Hope everybody had a great week, and hope everyone is having a wonderful Friday afternoon. Real quick, this episode I want to talk to y'all about another. I know you're probably getting tired of hearing about Oliver Anthony, but again, like this whole his whole rise to fame is just presenting so many opportunities to discuss, the current kind of populist uprising that we're seeing, this cultural revolution that we're seeing here in America. And the story we're going to talk about today is probably one of the most important things that we talk about. And so, well, let's just jump right into it. How about that? So we're going to go over here and I'm going to play a clip for you of Oliver talking. His actual name is Christopher Lunsford, just so we know. Chris Lunsford. So I'm going to let y'all listen to Mr. Lunsford here say a couple things, and then we'll talk about it after that. So here's one. Give me 1 second. I'm going to flip over here and let you hear what he had to say.
I had to pull off on the side of the road and make this video. My adrenaline's pumping, man. I'm pissed off right now. And don't buy Cotton Eye Joe tickets for $99 a piece, and sure as hell don't buy VIP passes for whatever bullshit price they're on. I have a buddy of mine who's not a booking agent. He's a friend of mine. He's a full-time plumber, and I'm trying to hire him full-time as my booking agent. And he agreed to the show, I guess, without asking for what the ticket prices are. Don't pay $100 for a ticket. That's horseshit. If we've got to cancel the venue and play somewhere else, we will. I didn't agree to it, and I don't want you to pay it. So please don't. I'm just trying to get the word out now. I don't know when the event got posted, but just hold off for a little bit.
All right, so I'm going to bring you back over to me. Let's talk about this a little bit. So I think we all can understand what Mr. Lunsford here is trying to say. All right, and I'm going to be honest. Coming from the mountains, coming from a poor upbringing, from a humble beginnings, from an area that, hell, if you're making $90,000 a year as a household, you're in the top 1% in East Kentucky. Coming from a household where my dad died of a drug overdose, didn't graduate high school. My stepdad didn't graduate high school, still works in the coal mines. Pills all over the place, family members in prison, all that. Okay, coming from that background, I'm going to tell you right now, and I think I heard this on another show. I think it was, the Project Veritas. James O'Keefe talked about this, and how for him, he feels like most people in his situation, the video game had already ended. I feel like that's where I'm at, and that's where Oliver Anthony is at this moment. This is normally where the video game ends for people that are, of the populist mindset or coming from humble beginnings, dirt poor beginnings. Very rarely do we actually live to tell the story, right? Like we may be heroes in the World War II battle, and we may be in the history book, but we're dead. So we don't know what it's like to have the fame, right? Very few people from those backgrounds, grow up to own their own business, be successful long enough to where they feel comfortable telling the story and then actually tell the story. They may get to where they own the business and then it all falls apart and they feel too stupid or too ignorant to tell anybody, or they're too embarrassed to tell anybody or whatever. Okay, so just to recap, what Chris Lunsford, Oliver Anthony is talking about here is how he was supposed to play a show at the Cotton Eye Joe in Knoxville, Tennessee, which is a very common place for people that aren't even, there'll be really famous people there, but it's also a common place for people that ain't real famous to go play, and it ain't like some big fancy yuppie bar. And so he's supposed to play a show there that they can seat about 1,500 people in Cotton Eye Joe. And it sounds like he had agreed to play there for $120,000. Now, that he obviously wasn't going to get all that money, and we're going to talk about that in a second in one of the articles. But it was going to be going to him and then paying his people, his production people, and his lighting people, and his sound techs, and all that stuff. But obviously, the venue's got to make money, right? We do realize this, right? And so what I really want to talk about today is this. In this populist movement, in this rags to riches movement, in this, like liberty movement, where we're voting in people that are more like us into politics. One of our biggest weaknesses, I think one of the best we said is like, the old adage where people say, hey, act like you've been there before. Well, we're actually in a predicament where, damn it, we ain't never been there before. How do you know how to act if you ain't never been there? And you don't have anyone that's been teaching you how to act when you do get there. So I guess another word for it would be like naivete. We're naive as hell. How we tend to run our mouths before we really assess the situation. So we're hot-headed. We don't get all the facts. We don't see all the sides, consider all the sides to an argument, and then come to a logical conclusion and then respond. We tend to fly off the handle, say dumb shit, and then look back and say, and it's obvious to everyone that we shouldn't be in whatever position of power that we wanted to be in because we wasn't ready. All right, that's what we're talking about today. So let's just hop over here. I'm gonna read through an article here with you guys. This is from USA Today. So Oliver Anthony cancels concert over high ticket prices. This will never happen again, he says. Oliver Anthony has canceled a show at Cotton Eye Joe, Knoxville, Tennessee, due to high ticket prices. Cotton Eye Joe has been canceled. Ultimately, this is from him. Ultimately, it's my fault for not being more directly involved with the venues who have reached out. My plate has been full, and I delegated the responsibility to someone else to help me book. I'm not pointing fingers at Cotton Eye Joe. I don't know where the miscommunication took place. I'm just upset seeing those prices. He added, we will find another place in Knoxville area that can do $25 ticket and free meet and greet. I will work to get your tickets refunded from my own budget if they can't. This will never happen again. Thanks for your patience. I'm still learning how all this works. Why did Oliver Anthony cancel his show at Cotton Eye Joe? Hours before canceling, the Ain't Got a Dollar singer told fans on social media not to buy tickets to his scheduled concert on September 27th because they were $90 and $200 for a meet and greet. That's not acceptable. He wrote on Instagram, my shows should never cost more than $40. Ideally, no more than $25. Hell, out of the 4 shows we have currently done, 2 of them have been completely free. Anthony explained that he's had his friend working as his booking agent, and there was a miscommunication about how much the tickets should sell for. These are supposed to be affordable shows. Please don't pay $90 for a ticket. I'm going to work out the details with him, and if we have to reschedule this event somewhere else, we will, Anthony said in a post. The country singer vowed to only do shows at $25 ticket prices and free meet and greets for future shows. Cotton Eye Joe fires back at Oliver Anthony. Cotton Eye Joe slammed Anthony's cancellation on Facebook, claiming they sell ticket prices to break even. Most times, we say a show has been canceled due to circumstances beyond our control. Well, we are canceling the Oliver Anthony show under our full control, the venue said. All refunds will be made in the next few business days to your original form of payment. Explaining the cost for the concert, the venue said, the North Manor of Richmond contracted to play the Cotton Eye Joe for $120,000 for 60 minutes. After doing the math and knowing we can only hold approximately 1,500 people, paying the ticket website their fee to sell the tickets, paying the tax man, opening the Joe on a closed night, we set the ticket price to break even and bring our customers a show we thought would be fun. To our talent agency and promoter friends that follow us, be careful booking North Man of Richmond, they added. All right. First thing I want to respond to on that is what he just did here. What Oliver Anthony just did was make it harder for up-and-coming artists to get legitimate businesses to trust them and to give them a chance. And I don't know Chris Lunsford. I love his music. I love his message. I love all that stuff. And honestly, I'm not mad at him for what he's doing. Again, he ain't never been there before. All right. But Cotton Eye Joe's right on this. And y'all know I'm not a big business. I'm not a Chamber of Commerce guy. But again, let's do the math. At $99 times $1,500, that's only $148,500. He was going to make $120. So that means that leaves $28,500 for Cotton Eye Joe before they sell drinks and stuff like that. But again, they're right. They got to pay the tax man. The ticketing website's probably getting 10% or more of that. The cost of opening the building up for that night. All right, every time they have one of these events, every time they're having to take out special event liability insurance. That's in addition to their normal business insurance. They got security they got to have on board. They're probably having to pay the city for special permits because they're going to have more extra security guards on hand. They may be having to pay the city for having to redirect traffic. All right, and don't forget, he says in this, the most he's ever made on a show is $35,000. Well, brother, I hate to tell you, but if you think it's, again, I'm not arguing against you making the money. I want you to make it. $35,000 for 60 minutes, that's pretty yuppie ass money if you ask me. You might as well make $100,000 for 60 minutes. $30,000, $100,000. Y'all ever watched Happy Gilmore? Red jacket, green jacket. Who gives a shit? That's what this is. $35,000, $100,000. Who gives a shit? It's 60 minutes, brother. You ain't playing for $30 an hour. So again, like this, as populist as us, coming up out the mud, as we get out the mud, we might need to keep our mouth shut for a little bit until we have time to assess the overall situation. He also threw his buddy under the bus. All right, and yes, I do have particular insight to what I'm talking about here. Because I tell people all the time, yes, I'm one of those people, the video game hasn't ended. The situations I've been put in, I never anticipated being in these situations when I was growing up. Broke as hell in East Kentucky. I never thought I'd own my own business. All right, and everybody from where I'm from just thought I was loaded because I owned an insurance agency. And yeah, my gross income looked gross as far as what I would consider. Okay, I remember getting one check, a 1-2 week commission check. That was as much as my mom, as a teacher, and her husband, my stepdad, as a coal miner, made an entire year together. I made it in one check. To most people, that would make them think, okay, he's automatically a sellout, store-bought country boy now. All right, like what everybody forgets is that I'm still a redneck. I'm still a redneck ass son of a bitch. I ain't got a dime to show for that money, but I also had ungodly amounts of rent. Okay, and got took advantage of there because I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't go and get wisdom from other people that could tell me, hey, that's too much rent to be paying. I had utilities, property insurance, liability insurance, workers' comp, cyber liability insurance, employment practices liability insurance. Yeah, because listen, employees be suing people. You got your startup furniture, startup supplies, ongoing furniture maintenance, supplies, all that, marketing expenses for marketing this event, for marketing your business, donation requests from everybody under the sun. Every customer you got with a kid is selling Krispy Kreme for their local Boy Scout troop or Girl Scout troop or their football team or whatever. They're all coming for donations, and you got to give them to everybody. All right, you got employee pay, and you're paying salaries. You don't even know if you're getting $1 or not till you make sales that month. You got employee salaries, you got commissions, you got bonuses, you got health insurance, you got disability insurance, you got life insurance. And then if you're a venue like this, you got extra security, stage techs, lighting designers, production staff, liquor liability. And again, I'm not even talking about taxes and any of this stuff. All right, so we can't expect people to not expect businesses not to make profit, and we can't expect people not to make money. This is probably, I don't know if naivete would be the biggest issue. I think our biggest issue is just we got to stop. We can't be purist about everything. We can't be ideological about everything. I'm guilty of this. Listen, guys, I've been doing what I've been doing here for 18 months now. And I've had opportunities to make money doing it, and I've tried to fight it because I wanted to find a pure way of making money to continue doing this. Well, here's the God's honest truth. At the end of the day, I'm either going to figure out a way to make money doing this, or my ass ain't going to be doing it. All right. He's either going, Oliver Anthony's either going to make money doing music, or he's going to be in the poorhouse. And in order for him to make money doing music, he's going to let Cotton Eye Joe make a little money. Because them making money means again, stage techs, lighting designers, the waitresses, the bartenders, the bouncers, means they're all making a little bread. Right now, it's like, yeah, obviously the business owners are making more than everyone else. All right, but we're not talking about Purdue Pharma here. We're not talking about the Sackler family. We're not talking about Mitt S. Romney. We're not talking about politicians that pass laws to enrich themselves, like Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders and Mitt Romney, like all the establishment Republicans and Democrats. We're not talking about those people. We're talking about Cotton Eye Joe. All right, your buddy, that owns a dry cleaner, yeah, he's making decent money, and you might not like his prices, but again, he wants customers, so he ain't trying to price himself out the market. And no matter what they do with these tickets, here's the other reality Oliver's going to have to deal with is the scalping industry is legit. Taylor Swift, I think her tickets, I think her tickets are like $200, $300, $400, something like that. That's what the actual ticket is. But on the resale market, they're going for $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 or more. So she's in a conundrum. Should she make that money? People would be mad if she made the money. But then they're willing to buy it, off of the scalper that's making probably 10x in actual profits compared to Taylor Swift. Now, Taylor Swift gets she's got the glitz and the glamour and the fame and the, notoriety and all that stuff. But, like, the scalper don't give a damn about any of that. He'll take 10x of what Taylor Swift's making without any of the expenses. No insurance, no, like, policies that they got to pay. Like, this other thing, Oliver Anthony, you better start padding your pockets a little bit, because when you start making a little bit of bread, every cousin you got in your bloodline is going to be coming for a handout. And if you don't give it to them, they're going to be pissed. And they're going to talk shit about you everywhere they go. I still remember. Funny story. I got out of Kentucky. I own my own insurance business, whatever. Everybody thinks I'm just this loaded ass dude. I mean, I do got a nice truck, but just so everybody knows, the reason business owners all drive Yukons and big ass excursions and expeditions and Suburbans and all that, it's because it's a tax write-off. It's got to be over 5,000 pounds. So that's the reason they're in it. It's a tax write-off. But my aunt died. All right, she had diabetes. Severely overweight, heart issues, smoker her whole life, had lost her foot before that. Think of everything East Kentucky. All right, foot amputation, all that good stuff. Right. She dies. So, I got to go home. I got to go back home for the funeral. I get there real quickly. I realize, like, ain't nobody got no money to pay for shit. She ain't got no outfit to wear. They ain't got no gas in the car. They ain't got no urn. They ain't got no casket. They ain't got nothing. All right, so I'm like, all right, let's go Walmart. I'll buy something, whatever. I'll buy her something. So we get an outfit, get her some pantyhose to put on her, even though we ended up cremating her or whatever. All right. We get up to the front of Walmart. I look back. My family had there was $15 mangy beef jerky on there. It was pop. There was ho-hos. There was almost cream pies. And I'm like, listen, I told you I'd buy her outfit and shit. I didn't say I'd buy a bunch of groceries and everything. And even though I was buying the outfit and everything, because I wasn't willing to buy everything else, it was like I didn't buy anything. There was no goodwill there. All right, so this is a common, this goes on constantly with our people. As soon as like we make it out the mud, we make it out of the hood, we make it out of the holler, we're all of a sudden we're store-bought country boys, we're sellouts. All right, it's like we never had any street cred. So again, I'm not beating up on Oliver Anthony. I want us all to learn from other people's mistakes and mine as well. Because listen, as I do this show, I'm going to tell you every one I've ever made. Anthony Oliver needs to soak in the moment a little more, enjoy his success. We actually I've learned this along the way. Let people play a part and feel good about your success. That's what free market capitalism does. If you're packing out Cotton Eye Joe and people want to pay $500 a ticket for them to go there, they're not paying $500 a ticket and being mad as hell at you. They're paying $500 tickets. They're like, damn, I think Oliver Anthony's worth that money, and I want him to have it. And because I was willing to pay $500 a ticket, I'm a part of his success. Let people be a part of the ride with you, brother. Let them enjoy it. Let them feel good about paying $99 a ticket. Let them say, man, it feels good. Fine. I got to pay $99. I got to pay $99 a ticket to go watch old Henry son down there that played down there at the Cotton Eye Joe. Man, he's damn good down there. People from where I'm from, listen, if you make it on Who's Got Talent or America's Got Talent or whatever, Jimmy Rose, hell, they'll pay $100 a ticket to stand outside of where you sing. And they'll love every second of it. Let them do that. Don't rob people of their joy of being able to go along the ride with you. Because the other people that aren't like you, that aren't good-natured like you, that aren't thoughtful like you, and that don't care about their well-being like you, are going to make the money. They're going to make it. So it's getting spent. Let people give to someone who cares and who thinks about them and who's trying to make their futures better. We also do this with our politicians. As soon as politicians get in office, if things don't change overnight, they're sellouts. Many times, though, it's like if someone is actually genuine and they're trying to run for office, we won't even publicly support them or like share resources with them in order to like advance the cause. I'm not just talking money, I'm talking relationships. They'll be like, oh, you got such and such's phone number so I can call him for donation? Nah, I don't know if I can't give you, I can't give you his phone number. I don't want you to use my name like that. I believe in you, I'll vote for you, but I won't help you get 3 more votes. Or they get in the office and as soon as they compromise, we consider them to have gone to the dark side. And we have total unrealistic expectations of what they can share with us. You know, for instance, like shit moves fast in politics. Just because you vote your sister-in-law in there doesn't mean your sister-in-law is going to be able to update you on every step of the way on how bills get passed. They may not even know themselves. Shit happens fast in politics. All right, if the good politicians, the politicians we like, doesn't get their exact bill passed, but they get it in someone else's bill that we don't necessarily didn't like before, we won't even connect the dots that like, oh, the good shit got in on that bill because the politician I liked and voted for made sure it got in on that bill and passed. We literally forget about all the bad stuff the other politician did and give them credit for it. So again, it's not necessarily our fault as normal people. We've never been there before. We don't know what we don't know. We can't know what we don't know. All right, so that's one of my big things I'm trying to do here with this show is I want to be able to be that person that helps inform people on behind the scenes workings in order to bridge, build bridges between communities and between politicians and their constituents, normal people and affluent people, the haves and the have-nots. That's one of my biggest priorities and one of my biggest concerns and why I'm trying to do what I'm trying to do. All right, but guys, listen, let's not burn every bridge on the way up. All right, because everything isn't always what it seems to be. And I know Oliver Anthony, I know he meant well with what he's saying here. I get what he's saying. I think we all can get what he's saying. But he didn't need to be all hot-headed about it. All right, he didn't need to go all like scorched earth and start like just talking shit about everybody and throwing his buddy under the bus because he's a plumber. I mean, he literally talks shit about him because he's a plumber. Like, he may not have meant to actually talk shit about him, but that's what he did. He was like, well, he's a stupid-ass plumber, and decided this without asking me. Well, what the hell would I asking you? You ain't shit either. You ain't smart either. Neither am I. So let's be realistic. There was no reason to fly off the handle like that. You know, and hopefully going forward, he'll think about that more and more. You know, but it's something I want us all to work on as we move forward. And that's the moral of this story. Since we can't act like we've been there before because we've never been there before, let's just shut up for a second and listen and put all the pieces together, hear all the facts, hear all sides of the story, and then pray on it for a few minutes. Seek out counsel, seek out wisdom, people from trusted advisors. Then come out with a statement. Then come out with a plan. All right, that's all of anything you need to do there. Because $99 a ticket wasn't outrageous. It wasn't. It just wasn't. All right, so again, I'm not talking trash about Oliver Anthony. He's awesome. I love his music. I love his message. You can tell, I love his vulnerability, his authenticity. I try to emulate those same things myself. You know, I definitely don't think I'm to that level, and I make all kinds of mistakes, and I just hope I get the opportunity to continue doing this so that I can tell you all those mistakes, because I want to tell you, I think we need more vulnerability, more transparency out there. All right, so I'd love to hear what you have to say about this. I'd love to hear your response to this Oliver Anthony ticketing situation, called a scandal. Please, if you want to support my work, what I'm doing, best thing you can do is share the show, subscribe to my YouTube channel, leave comments, send it around in text messages, put it on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, Twitter, all that good stuff. But thanks a lot for listening, and hope you all have a great weekend. Thank you.